Hello and welcome back to Talk Data to Me. So today's episode is intentionally light, fun, and a little bit, but a lot of bit opinionated because I don't want every conversation that I have with you guys to feel like a lecture or a warning. So this is an AI hot takes episode, mixed with a lot of metaphors, that I'm not shaking. And if you feel like AI is a video game, most of us are still on level 1. I am still on level 1. I am like you guys. I am learning, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to be adaptable in spite of the things that I don't like about AI. But I'll be very honest, there are things that I don't like about the current ways that things are set up, and I still have to function in society. So the goal is not to promote fear, doom, but just perspective. Always a different perspective. If you've ever felt behind, overwhelmed, or like everyone else got the cheat codes before you, then this episode is for you. So here it is. AI isn't creative, people are. And a lot of people have very strong opinions about AI. And I too have very strong opinions about AI. Are you kidding me? I wanted nothing to do with AI. Nothing. And what changed my mind was my desire to create. And I saw that AI would be a helpful tool to do that. But there is a caveat. Not always, but in this instance it is. Even with AI and with the tools that are currently available to us, there's still an aspect or part that you have to play in the creation edit process. So let's take it from here. AI doesn't wake up inspired. It doesn't have childhood memories. It doesn't feel heartbreak, joy, rage, or hope. We do. Humans do. People do. AI reflects creativity, and the humans generate it. When we see AI art, AI music, or AI films that feel impressive, what we're really seeing is compressed human imagination at scale. That doesn't erase creativity. It exposes how much of it already exists. And I know that there are certain people who are adamantly and will forever be against AI. I am totally fine with that. 1000% fine with that. I know that there are people who feel that way now and maybe later down the road will change their mind. I'm completely fine with that too. My stance on AI doesn't change because I'm in AI and I understand there is a level of human involvement that is required. ChatGPT can't give you anything without a prompt. That means the human has to do something in order to get something. So, but here's the truth. Most people aren't afraid of AI. They're afraid of being irrelevant. Ooh, y'all may not want me to get into it, honey, but it's true. You have to locate what you're really trying to say. I've always said that emotions are indicators. They're indicators to something deeper that's taking place, right? If you say that you hate something, I know I was saying that, oh, I hate this person. You don't hate this person. You don't. They're selfish. They've made a decision that negatively impacts a lot of people, regardless of how it makes people feel. They're hell bent on that decision. You don't hate this person. You just don't agree with their choices. because you would not make those choices. So, but let's be honest. The fear isn't really AI is coming for my job. Because in all truth, you don't really even care about your job. What if I don't know how to adapt? AI is a mirror. It reflects skills gaps, curiosity gaps, and confidence gaps. Mirrors are uncomfortable. They show you you. And there's no, I'm showing you the pretty you. I'm showing you what's being reflected back. So, how do you adjust? How do you start with where you are? Start with those emotions. And then eventually just try it. Try it. Try it. You'll be surprised at what you can accomplish. You'll be surprised by what you can accomplish. You know, the part of me that, I don't care to people please anymore, but the part of me that cares about people, especially people that are in my life or connected to me in some way, I want them to be on board with AI, but the truth is, they're not. They may never be. The truth is, there are those who might be, who might not be right now and maybe down the road. That doesn't change my stance or my perspective towards AI. That doesn't change the value that I see that AI holds. That doesn't change the fact that there are a lot of things that I don't necessarily agree with. I understand it, but that doesn't mean I have to agree with it. And the truth is, people have been vocal enough for those in power to recognize the things that people don't agree with, they don't agree with either, which is why other options are being explored. So AI, here's the thing. AI rewards the curious before it rewards the qualified. And I think that's 1000% true. You can come into AI a novice and walk away, oh man, not a master, but definitely an intermediate. But see, the thing that I love with AI is that there's still a level of research that you as a human have to do. You have to do it. It doesn't matter what field you're in. If you're knowledgeable about the field, obviously if you're knowledgeable about the field, you can see the inconsistencies and how things are wrong. But if you're not knowledgeable about the field, you shouldn't. I would advise, because some people could just take what Chat says at face value. And I definitely watched the clip of ChatGPT emphatically saying that some plant was not poisonous when they opened up chat on a separate device. It noted that the plant was in fact poisonous. So, what that just affirmed to me, oh, this is why you need to do your research, regardless of what you come up with chat, regardless of what you discover. This era is less about credentials and more about experimentation. We are in the beginning of the internet computing era, but only for AI. And AI was around then too. But, whatever. We're focusing on AI right now. We're in that time. There's a lot of experimentation going. There's a lot of building. There's a lot of infrastructure. And like, President Trump has said, he doesn't want to regulate anything. He doesn't want to enforce any policies while infrastructure is being built, because you want to be able to see what this infrastructure is fully capable of. And if you start implementing policies or implementing limits, in other words, and restricting what the infrastructure can do, you don't even know what it can do, and you're restricting it already. So, a lot of people feel, hey, if we resist, then AI won't get built. That's not how this works. That's not how this particular instance works. But, some of the people doing the most interesting work with AI right now aren't technically trained. They're just enjoying themselves. They click buttons, they break things, and they try again. Curiosity is the real currency. And here's the thing. AI didn't kill creativity. Capitalism already wounded it. The minute that you get to a certain level within your creativity and your artistry, it stops becoming about the art and it becomes about the data. It becomes the numbers. It becomes the followers. And ultimately, you as an artist, you have to deliver. You have to, and now you find this fine line because you find something that works, especially in this time. There was a time in an era where you could really explore as a creative, and you can explore with different images, and you can explore with different sounds, and you can explore with different looks. And if this look did well, you could do a completely different look on your other project, and that project would do well too, but you're not limited. Hey, if something works for you now, let's just keep on recycling it. You wore a red dress this time, let's wear a blue dress. But it's the same formula, unfortunately. And now you're caught in between the fight for artistry and freedom of expression or make this bag. And I think a lot of creators are over the current systems and the current structures. But most creators just do their art. They don't do anything else. They don't want to do anything else. And, in some instances, that's not a bad thing. Maybe they're not good at anything else but what it is that they do. Maybe we don't want to see them in another light. And that's okay. But the reality is, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. I knew it could go either way. Timbaland was endorsing Suno. I thought Suno was his, but he's just the face of it. And now he's got the artist Tata, and everything new is always a slow build. When you're doing something for the first time and you're the one championing the cause, you're breaking the ground. Think of the process of a plant. You don't see all of the work that plant goes through when it first gets into the ground. It gets into the ground. First, the ground had to be treated properly. Then what's inside the plant has to break through the seed. And then it's still underground. And then depending on the type of plant or flower that it is, will determine when you will even see evidence of it sprouting through the ground. So this could be a couple of months before you see anything. And I'm saying that to say to the people in the AI space, like myself, the influencers, the creators of, in conjunction with AI, and a lot of the negative that we receive as a result of it. You have some artists that are on board with AI. You have some artists who are adamantly and abhorrently against. And it's really sad. It's really sad. But I mean, the way I look at it, how can you be a creative, especially if you're in the music industry, but you're against AI? You're literally for a system that is exploiting you. Even if you've been in the game 20 plus years. Whatever. It got creativity. Didn't disappear because of AI. It got squeezed by timelines, metrics, algorithms, monetization pressure, everything I just said. Everything I just said. These are just my notes in pretty form. How can you honestly be an artist, especially the ones signed to major labels, and you're against AI? Are you kidding me? You're assigned to a label. And you're against AI? Child. You know what AI did? AI removed the excuse that creativity takes too long or costs too much. And that's what happens. And I understand 1000% why artists go the signed route. I 1000% get that. Being independent is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the weak of heart. It is not a road you travel if you do not enjoy what you do. Period. It's not a road that you travel if you don't enjoy what you do. But the reality is that you're the question is, I don't even want to go down that road no more. What do you want to create when the barrier is lowered? Because that's in essence what you're doing. You're making the playing field level. And as a creative, I do understand the frustration for that. You put in time, you put in energy, and you don't get the return that you were expecting and hoping for. Even if you get the record deal, you may not have the career that you want because you still have to deal with competition. Now your competition is amongst those who are charting, those who are world renowned. And I think as someone who's been a creative my entire life and having chosen independent route, AI is something that has been useful in helping to realize a lot of things that I've wanted to get accomplished. You know, the difference between a signed artist and an independent artist is budgeting. One of the differences, right? Budgeting and financing. You have some funders backing you if you're a major artist, and as an independent artist, you're backing yourself. You're funding yourself. So AI for me causes it so that I can do those things creatively that I would like to do, that I can tell the stories that I would like to tell when I would like to tell them. So here is the metaphor that makes all of this click for me. AI feels like a video game. So level 1, curiosity. Level 1 isn't mastery. Level 1 is just touching the controller, opening a tool, trying a prompt, seeing what happens. No one is good on level 1. And that's the design. That's the point. Nobody's good. So then you have your side quests. You have your tools. And I'm always raving about different tools. All the tools we talk about, right? Those are your side quests. You don't need to master every platform. You don't need every upgrade. You just need to explore enough to know how you play. Now, boss level 1. Fear. The first real boss isn't technical. It's fear. Fear of looking stupid. Fear of being late. Fear of being seen trying. You don't beat that boss by quitting. You beat it by playing. So your XP, time, and reps. Curiosity gives experience points. Consistency unlocks skills. Comparison resets your progress. Logging out doesn't stop the game. It just pauses your growth. So here's my favorite part of the episode. Control, Alt, Dream is where we pause. Because this episode isn't about AI being good or bad. It's about permission. Permission to be a beginner. Permission to play. Permission to not know what the final level looks like. You don't need to master the game today. You just need to log in. AI doesn't require perfection. It requires participation. Control Alt Delete is opting out because you're scared. We not no chumps over here. And Control Alt Dream is pressing start game anyway, in spite of what everybody thinks, in spite of what everybody says. Every single industry has biases. Every single industry has something negative connected to it. It doesn't matter if it is AI or a traditional industry. It's all shit sometimes. Really and truly. It really is. You have shit, and you know what? Perfect tie-in. When you are gardening, since I used this example earlier, you need shit. You need it. Because shit helps things grow. Failure is really not failure. It's an opportunity to what? Learn and grow. So it's garbage. Basura. That the current administration will not implement policies because it's not fair to creatives, especially when you are monetizing someone's likeness. They should be getting and this is why people are mad, because they're not getting a cut. As they should be. You're profiting off of my hard work, off of my success, and not giving me a penny for it. And the administration is saying, no, we're not going to, whatever. They can do whatever until we deem otherwise. This is America, right? If you made it this far in this video, comment game. Comment game. Are you willing to play the game or no? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and always